lower this radio. I hope everyone's doing well. Wasn't a planned live stream today. I love it when my schedule goes sideways at like 9:30 in the morning, and I'm headed one way and something else happens, and I'm like, well, shit. And then that gets postponed, and now you're kind of in this weird limbo where it's like, well, now what do I do? And it's people are going to start leaving for lunch, so I can't visit certain folks. But it happens. In any case, just wanted to say hi to everybody. It's occurred to me watching a lot of the live stream chats and a lot of people I follow that folks are going down a lot of rabbit holes lately, and they're kind of losing focus on the things that need to be important. And I just want to throw a reminder out there. Don't forget your fundamentals. I did a short video this morning, one of the shorts, about checking your gear, checking your equipment. You know, it's kind of like when you check your batteries, you know, fall and spring. Hey, Dan. Fall and spring, check your batteries and your your smoke detectors and your CO2 detectors and stuff like that. How does he know about all of my damn militant? I feel you right there. Hey, coffee. Don't get dragged into too many of the rabbit trails, because I mean, you look at the headlines right now in the mainstream media, and then you look at a lot of the Preparedness channel. You're my distraction from work. My whole schedule went sideways today. Coffee. Hey, winning streak. I was supposed to go to one meeting. I was on my way there, and that canceled. So I went to the office, and there was no one there. There were a couple of people there, and then I diverted somewhere else, and that postponed till next week. And I'm like, well, shit, now it's going to be lunch here in a little bit, and people are going to start to disappear. So it kind of, kind of threw everything for a loop there. But yeah, folks, don't get too distracted by all the headlines. I mean, look, the Middle East has been a shit storm since like 1939, when the Nazis went in there and picked fights with everyone, and the Italians went and attacked Somalia. It's been in constant turmoil. Hey, oops. Hey, Red October. It's just smart. It's good to know what's going on, but it should be in the context of, okay, how is this going to affect me? For instance, if they clog up the Suez Canal, okay, that's going to make certain products go up in price and may make oil increase. That's a good thing to know. That can kind of course correct you, you know, give you a direction. But don't get so bogged down that it gives you a heart attack. Hey, Rebecca Lynn. Hey, Little Lone. How you doing? Survived the trip to Wally World. Had to fight a horde of zombies. You know what's funny is it me, or has the Walmarts by you kind of lowered their light? I remember Walmarts being very bright so you could see, and they seem dim. And I don't know if it's to save money on electricity or make us mentally fatigued, because you seem to be struggling to see things in there. Great Kitty Litter Box has been at war since there's been two people. Yeah, no, GMA Merkel, absolutely. So it's important to understand what's going on. There are a lot of people upset that, Brett Baer kind of beat up Kamala a little bit. And I'm like, well, NBC beat up Trump. It's like every candidate should have some friendly interviews, and then somebody should beat them up. And that way we can make informed decisions as to what we think. Lowered light and AC and heat. Okay, oops. That's what I was wondering. Walmarts are exhausting to go into. I think it fatigues you more. I think they did it to save money, but it also makes you tired, because you're trying to see shit, and then you come out and you're like blinking all stupid because it's bright outside. Sam's is huge, and Sam's is bright as shit, so I don't know what the deal is. Wally's here in Northern Virginia. You know what? I'm seeing a lot of the store brands are disappearing. Everything else is getting more expensive every trip. Yeah. That's the kind of stuff you want to keep on top of, well, meats are going up, or rice is hard to find, or, whatever the case may be, and then prep accordingly. I think a lot of folks are getting bogged down with the, oh shit, Ukraine and Russia. Truthfully, we don't know what the hell's going on. I just know it's ugly. People are dying. They're tearing the shit out of both countries right now. And I've not been to Walmart in 12 years. Hey, Psycho Billy. Sometimes I go to Walmart just to see what the hell's there, because it's just such a weird experience for me. Um, but yeah, it's important. Stay to the basics. Now, this weekend, the weather's kind of mellowing out. For those of you who can, now's a good time. Pull the generator out, which is something I'll probably do this weekend. Check the oil, check the fuel, turn it over, run it for 10 minutes, then shut it down, let it cool, put it away. Yeah, Red, and is it a risk? Like World War III, could it happen? Yes. I don't think it's going to happen the way we think it will. I think it'll be a very lopsided situation. It's not going to be like country versus country. It's going to be a shit ton of hot spots. Basically, I think we're in Cold War II, not World War III. We're in Cold War II, where a bunch of proxies are kicking the crap out of each other everywhere. And again, it's an election year, so I think they ratchet up everything. Oh no, yeah, if you got to drive 56 miles, that's not fun. I drive 2 miles and it's like there, but smaller city. Yeah, a collection of all sorts of stuff. Sudan is right now a shit show. I really need to do my Saturday sit reps again, where I go through all the international reports that I get, because there's a lot of instability, but it's exhausting. And I think people are getting so fatigued by, oh my God, the sky's falling stuff. And they're losing focus of the more basic things. Make sure your car is running right. Did you get your oil changed? Change the batteries and the smoke detectors. Make sure you have a fire extinguisher in the house. It's easy to get pushed to where you can't think of what's going on. Hey, Penny Pinching, good to see you. Yeah, and yeah, like, oops, this morning they did use a stealth bomber in Yemen. Of course, they asked the president, and he's like, oh, they need to go to the negotiating table and end the strike in Yemen. I feel bad for him. I think he's just an old man. I like the sit reps, good for abs. There you go, winning streak, ha. Hey, Lady Casca. Stay focused. Don't completely lose sight of the stuff you just need to do. And don't not live life because of what you hear. It's good to be aware. In the back of your mind, you're like, okay, I got to make a trip to Nevada soon. So if I'm going to be in another state and something happens, how do I get home? What are my contingencies? Do I have places to stop? Right? I have friends in Denver. I have friends in Flagstaff. I have friends in El Paso. I have friends in New Mexico. I have several directions I know. If I'm in Nevada and something gets ugly, I can go to Colorado. I can go to Arizona. I have directions I can go to stay long enough to resupply and then figure out where I'm going to go next and not get caught in the middle of nowhere. Even if you get caught in an airport in a blackout, you have a flashlight in your bag. And I mentioned that a lot, and it was because it's happened to me where I'm in an airport with, 5,000 strangers, and boom, the lights go out, and people were getting hurt walking around in the dark and tripping on shit. And I'm like, well, where's your flashlight? Where's your glow stick? They're using their phones, which you don't want to do. Oh, thank you, Psycho Billy. So yeah, folks, stay focused, stay attentive to what you need to be doing. Should we be aware of what's happening in the world? Absolutely, because obviously, if Iran gets into war, oil prices will change, right? That can affect the economy. It can affect availability of product. If the Suez gets clogged up, these are the things we need to understand. But don't have a heart attack. Only dude with a flashlight. He keeps. Oh, I keep one on the nightstand. That and my pistol. Like, yeah, hey Cobra, what's going on? I love that logo. I don't see the Cobra Commander logo very often. Um, but yeah, don't give yourself a heart attack watching the news, because everything is death, right? Everything is, oh, we're gonna have a nuclear war. Oh, um, there's certain people I follow that everything is it's happening now, and it's death, and to me, I take it with a grain of salt. Like, yeah, I get it. But you don't want to give yourself a heart attack, right? And I fear, and I try not to do this on my channel. Sometimes I go on my rabbit holes. I know that, but I think we got to be careful as a community what we start to perpetuate, because we can cause our own panic. Um, but most stuff can be delivered. I adapted. Yeah, well, yeah. And GMA Miracle, if you know your options are limited, your travel is limited, you can plan accordingly and say, okay, I have to go to this area. There's a Sam's or Walmart or Costco. So while I'm there, I'm going to do the following and accomplish these tasks. So, uh, I can get that taken care of while I'm in that area. Well, it's not just clickbait. I think it scares the shit out of people. Well, yeah, I guess it would be fright clickbait. Quantum physicist walks into a bar. Bartender says, "Weren't you here tomorrow?" "I'll be back yesterday." Ha. "I have no time for more rabbit holes. Focus on the things coming. Cold weather preps." Yeah, and that's I guess kind of the motivation for this short live stream is stay focused. Weather's changing. Make sure you have appropriate clothes in your vehicle. Make sure you have a jacket or a poncho. Again, look at what happened, a couple of years ago. That storm hit the East Coast, and folks coming from Florida going up to like DC or wherever they were going were getting caught on the highway, but they just left Florida. They're in bathing suits and flip flops. Nobody had a hoodie. They had no closed toed shoes. And they're now in 2 feet of snow, stuck on a highway and running out of gas. Right? There was no need for that. They should have said, oh, look, there's a front coming. Let's go hit the store and grab a set of hoodies and sweatpants for everyone, just in case we get caught. Hey, Watchman, what's going on? So Psychobilly was 34 by you. It was 50 something here. It was chilly, though. It was brisk for sure. Yeah, militant. So DOD 5240, I believe you're referring to the authorization to use deadly force by federal troops in support of regional or local law enforcement. I find the timing interesting, but I also would argue that this wouldn't be the first time that's happened. During the Civil War, the draft riots in Boston and New York, they actually put federal troops because the National Guard armories got overrun. Also, during the Kent State issues, the National Guard actually shot at civilians. There have been a few occasions where that's happened. My fear is that the younger generation, and I guess maybe we were the same way, they may not stop to think, wow, is this a lawful order, right? I've even heard some of the young soldiers around my sons would be like, yeah, uh, we'll do what needs to be done, but then they don't stop and think, hey, is that lawful? Going out, we might as well enjoy it. Yeah, 28 degrees last night in Michigan. Yeah, it was cold in West Texas this morning. It wasn't close to freezing. It was brisk. The dogs loved it. They went outside and they were like, woo, it's nice and cool. It wasn't all oppressively hot. But folks, if you take anything away, guy was bared up to his... Oh yeah, I saw that about the guy whose family, he was trying to pull them out and he was stuck in the mud. Release prison and others should be pushed to the USA. Well, Psychobilly Castro did the same thing, but the difference was during the Muriel boat lift, it was 200,000 refugees with maybe 50,000 prisoners, not millions. So we have a whole different problem here. If anything, that worries me more than Ukraine or Israel is the fact that we've allowed cartels. Hey, Virginia Bushcrafter, we've allowed cartels into the country that knowingly have ties to the government of the country they just left. And not more subtle, like, oh, they paid off this guy or that one. Like, they're all in cahoots. Because Venezuela is part of BRICS, right? So they would have a vested interest in discombobulating the US if something popped off. That's one thing that I kind of try to keep my eyes on. And I listen to the accents of the Spanish being spoken out in Texas because it's changing. There was like the Tex-Mex, there was a Mexican accent, the Argentinians, and the Puerto Ricans. And each had a distinct accent, and they kind of blended because they were all in Texas. And now we're hearing very different accents in our Spanish. And I know for a fact where they come from because you can just hear it. It's like taking a guy from Jersey and you stick him in Alabama. It's like, you're from the East Coast. They're from there. So those kind of things are good to understand and be aware of. But, folks, stay focused. Don't give yourself a heart attack with all the headlines. Definitely check your smoke detectors, check your fire extinguishers, check your house. Make sure you pull your get-home bag or your truck bag, whatever you want to call it, and pack it appropriately for colder weather. You may want to have an extra set of socks and boots in the vehicle, just in case you get stuck. Hell, you could get a flat tire or your car breaks down and now you have to walk to a gas station. It would be a lot nicer of a walk if you have some boots or galoshes and not like sandals, you know. Uh, but make sure you have some lace-up shoes in your vehicle if you have to get on foot, and just plan accordingly. But don't get sucked into this fear shit, and it's gonna distract you. It's gonna take away from what you're trying to accomplish because your focus is gonna be taken away from you. So don't let it happen, folks. Stay focused. Keep calm. The election is what the election's going to be. Go out and vote, register if you haven't already, and we'll see how things play out from there. Regardless of who wins, if Kamala wins, they're going to claim cheating. If Trump wins, they're going to claim he's incompetent. And the powers that be won't let us rest. They're going to always keep people agitated. It's in their... Yes, that's good. Virginia Bushcrafter, if you don't have like AAA, make sure like your insurance provides roadside assistance or be part of a auto service. Yeah, Psychobilly, I do believe, Chuck, I do believe it'll be a mess. But we can keep calm. We can keep ourselves in order. So we don't have to be, hey, Loretta, we don't have to be part of whatever chaos happens when it pops off. So just a reminder, because I don't want folks, I'm seeing a lot of headlines about the, bombings in Yemen and fighting and aircraft carriers and troops being deployed. And it's very easy to just get sucked into that feeling of chaos. Those two guys almost had an accident in a parking lot. Like, what were you guys doing? I swear, some people, they need to give an IQ test for drivers because some people are just stupid. Yes, and also compression socks. If you ever have to go walk an extended distance, it'll actually help you. Like the athletic socks to kind of prevent your knees and feet from swelling if you have injuries or if you're going to be walking a distance. So, but yeah, no, and Chuck, that's what you need to do. I know, all I know is, yeah, the Houthis can be a pain in the ass. But yeah, folks, yeah, had they actually hit each other, I would have flipped the camera around so you could see the morons. Um, but in any case, guys, ladies and gentlemen, stay focused. Full body compression suit, like Deadpool. That would attract attention, running around in a Deadpool suit. Stay focused on the basics. Check your gear. Remember, weather's going to get colder. It's going to get rainier, snowy, depending on where you live. So prepare accordingly. Make sure you have your own stuff in order because it makes it a lot easier to deal with external problems when your house is in order. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, look, folks, you guys be safe. Be careful out there. Hey, Hillbilly, take care of your fundamentals, and don't get lost down these swirling potties of doom. Just stay coherent with what you got to do. But you guys be good, be safe out there. Don't forget to hit the like before we shut it off. And yeah, just remember, weather's getting colder. It's going to change. Pack accordingly if you're going to make any kind of road trip. We'll see you guys later. Hey, take care, Cobra. Ladies and gentlemen, be good, be safe, take care, and I guess all of us got to get back to work. You guys take care of yourselves.